What's up, Niners faithful? This is Juju Talk Sports. That's Jose Corral. This is 49 Reasons to Listen. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And we're about to break down, is there more than one reason or multiple reasons to sign Earl Thomas to the San Francisco 49ers? Now, we know the Niners were interested in Jamal Adams earlier in this offseason, as we're going all in on that revenge tour 2020. Earl Thomas was just released earlier today following a disagreement, a fight, a little kerfuffle that broke out in Ravens camp. But I guess the main question is, should the Niners go after Earl Thomas? What do you think, Jose?
No, I'm going to go straight off the bat and just say no. And the reason is it's chemistry-wise. Richard Sherman would love to have him there, I'm assuming. I'm sure they're still friends from their Seattle days. But no, I think it's a little bit late in the year as well. The timing would be off a little bit for him to just get accustomed to that defense and that secondary. I think we're fine. I know our concerns about the secondary have been pretty evident. We've talked about some of the concerns that we've had, but I don't think you need to bring in another guy who could potentially cause a problem. I know the talent level in this case kind of surpasses the controversy that he would bring, or the maybe dramatic thing that he would bring, and which is fine, but I think adding another element like that, which is draw maybe a little bit of confusion, and I just don't think we need to risk more confusion on that secondary than we already have. It's like, is Emmanuel Mosley going to start? Is Akello Weatherspoon going to start? How much time is K'Wan Williams going to get? Is, obviously Kwaski Tart is going to be the starter, but how much time is really K'Wan Williams going to be able to get? So I think if you add another element for that defense to try to figure out, and especially a character like Earl Thomas, I think it'll just kind of throw things off balance a little bit. So my answer is just, it's a no. I'm sorry, but it's a no.
I mean, schematically, you bring up fantastic points. We have a starting free safety. We have a starting strong safety. Kwaski, Jimmy Ward, those are the two guys that are supposed to be lining up at safety this year. Yes. When we were talking about the Jamal Adams potential trade for a trade earlier this year, I think a lot of people were of the mindset that if we were to have acquired Jamal Adams, it would have took a starting safety on our end. So yes, whether that would have been Kwaski or that would have been Ward, one of those two guys would have been gone, and Jamal Adams would have been the guy to step in to that role. I mean, it played out obviously with what the actual trade pieces were there. This one, you'd have to figure out a little bit of cap management, obviously, because coming off of an incident with a teammate, you'd have to fully expect the teams aren't going to be in a hurry to give a lot of guaranteed money to Earl Thomas. Any deal that he's going to be signing is going to be very incentive laden. And I know I don't claim to be the first person to make this joke, but I don't think that we need another fullback behind Kyle Juszczyk at the moment. Got him.
Yes.
You already know, Niners faithful. I'm going to be queuing up that clip of him as a lead blocker for Derrick Henry, but it seems like that's been a bit of a downward spiral for Earl ever since, because he also had that weird incident this year where apparently he was just having an orgy with his brother.
Yeah, that was weird. I do remember that. That was so weird.
And Snapchat, ghost mode. A weird headline. And then you fast forward a few months to this incident. You kind of wonder what his teammates said to get under his skin in that situation. I wonder, in my mind, in my little immature mind, I like to think that he was bringing up the ghost mode story and that started the fight. But the Ravens are obviously a team that we consider in high regard, a high character team. So when they let you go, I think that has a little bit more impact on decision-making. And if I was to name more likely landing spots for an Earl Thomas, of course, my mind instinctively goes to Dallas. Because let's face it, 2 years ago when he went up to Jason Garrett in the hallways in the Seahawks stadium and was like, come get me. Yep. I think that was all you really need to know about where Earl Thomas wants to play. I do think that there would be the added element, as you mentioned, Richard Sherman potentially could talk him over. I know when he was a free agent, Richard Sherman did kind of do a little bit of a Twitter song and dance to say, hey, maybe Legion of Boom 2.0, maybe.
Yeah.
but it didn't really play out. I don't think the Niners were ever at the top of his list, but you could always say there's that revenge element. Potentially, you get to play the Seahawks twice a year.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that the Legion of Boom wasn't the most friendly to Russell Wilson in the long run. Felt that Pete Carroll gave them a little bit more breaks. Does Earl Thomas, let's say they do it. Let's just bring in a guy. Does Earl Thomas make them a better player and increase their Super Bowl chances? Because that's the only real reason to sign someone, right?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. If we're going to bring him in as for the intentions of that he's going to make that secondary better, I don't think he will. I think it'll just be a little bit too late. We mentioned it, the secondary position, and everybody in the secondary is more of a communication thing. The more snaps you get with your four guys back there, the better your secondary is going to be. Just because it's all communication based, it's all schematic, it's all just schemes. What type of coverages you're going to type of, what type of offenses and what type of wide receiver weapons you're going to be coming up against, week in and week out. And I think it's just a little bit too late. If he would have punched his teammate a month ago, I would have been like, oh, okay. Now
he had to socially distance.
Right, I know. COVID's just ruining everything at this point. But if this would have happened even a month ago, it would have been like, okay, we're still a month away from training camp, basically. So, yeah, he's going to have all kinds of reps with the first team. But I think at this point, I don't think he'll make that secondary better. As much as he's been really good with Baltimore, which is surprising to me because his injury was, crazy in Seattle, which is kind of crazy to see that injury. And the way he left Seattle, too, it just kind of left a sour taste on everyone's mouth. I mean, I know it sucks to leave in an injury, but the way he left, flipping off his team, I don't want to bring in a type of guy like that where if things start heading a little bit south, he's just going to be causing problems. But, no, I don't think he'll make that secondary better. As far as the skill-wise, he is better than Kwaski Tart. I will say that. He is a better player. But Kwaski Tart has been in that system now for 2 years, and he's been good. And, let's talk about Kwaski Tart. Poor guy. Now he's like, okay, what do we need to send? We need to send Kwaski Tart to the Jets and some draft picks so we can get Jamal Adams. And I was like, okay, let's sign Earl Thomas and then just get rid of Kwaski Tart. And it's like, he's been playing great. He played great all of last year, and he's been fine. Him and Jimmy Ward have great communication back there as the two safeties. So if I'm him, I'm like, what the heck? How come the fans of the team that I play for always wants to get rid of me for the next available safety when I've been playing good? So I think it's fine. Leave the secondary the way it is, even though there's a little bit of question marks, especially in the opposite end of the quarterback position, opposite of Richard Sherman. There's still a little bit of a question mark. Let those four, if it'll be Emmanuel Mosley, which we think right now he'll be the starting cornerback come week 1, let those four develop good chemistry. And if it goes to shit week 9 and week 10, okay, then you still have K'Wan Williams and you still have a Kello Weatherspoon to kind of fill in that gap. So I don't think we need another guy to mess up the chemistry that those four already have. So I'm good.
I mean, I don't want to put any bad juju on this team, but we do know that Kwaski and Ward don't necessarily have the cleanest track record. And we just finished a video talking about a lot of injuries in training camp. So who knows? By next week, we might need to get Earl Thomas on this.
Maybe, yeah, we might have to. Yeah.
At this point, we wait another day. We're going to have another 5 injuries. We just need to be on September 13th right now. We need to be playing the Cardinals right now. That game happened yesterday.
It should have happened yesterday. It should have happened today. We're recording on a Sunday, by the way. But
yeah, whenever you're listening to this, I don't care. Yeah. Just I need some football injected into my bloodstream at this point. But you know what you need to inject into your daily lineup? 49 reasons to listen. And to do that, you need to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you know when we drop new episodes. Give this video a like so more people can see it. More people can hear how we firmly agree that Earl Thomas does not belong on the squad yet. And comment if you disagree on that. But all right, faithful, we'll see you back with another episode, hopefully with much more cheerier news for the season to come. #RevengeTour 2020.